Drake, Iceman album review. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. It is finally time. We've been talking about Drake's new album, Iceman, probably all week. I think the only track that I did, that wasn't included in the Iceman album was the Road Trip song, which it's my bad. I should have waited just a few more minutes and then I would have checked out an Iceman track, to start off Thursday night. But, I went off the gut. So here we go. Iceman, this album has been such a good experience listening to. I was seeing all the discourse for this album, and I don't really have any thoughts for the second or third album. I will be getting into those next week, starting probably tomorrow night, probably. We'll fucking see. But I'll be getting into those later throughout the next week and the next week after. So I'm just gonna kind of, hold off on those albums. But what I can tell you about Iceman is that this is probably one of the best Drake albums I've heard in quite a fucking while. I mean, we've been covering Drake since a long ass time. I mean, it's been a long ass time. It's been 5+ years of just covering Drake music, and I can tell y'all, this is probably the best fucking album I've heard from Drake. All right, this album is 18 songs long, and these 18 tracks actually have such good cohesion, actually flow so together. Even the single "What Did I Miss?" How was that going to be included in the album? And it's included perfectly in the album. There's just so many good moments in this album, and we're gonna get into it, we're gonna talk about it. But before I get into that, I want to give y'all my format of how we do album reviews on this show. So we're going to go over 3 overall points of how I'm feeling about the album. And then we're going to go over every single track off the album and rate every single track 1 out of 5. And then I'll give you my overall thoughts at the end and my final 1 out of 10 score. So it's time. Iceman. It's Iceman fucking season. Let's get into this shit. Let's talk about this album, starting off with my first point. My first point is that the production off this album is just such good ass production. Probably the best I've heard off of a Drake album. I was seeing discourse about this album and people were saying, this sounds like soulless. This sounds like fucking, like boring or generic. And I'm listening to this album and I'm seeing the discourse about this album and it's making no fucking sense to me. I mean, some of the production here is just absolutely fantastic. The beat switches, the drums on here, the use of samples is some of the best use of samples I've heard from Drake in quite a fucking while. I mean, let's be fucking honest here. Some of fucking Drake's music makes me want to fucking fall asleep. I mean, and this album right here has all the beat switches. Even it's not even just beat switches, which is such a cool thing. It's actually Drake, doing really good flow switches, doing really good vocal switch ups. There's actually some other elements that are happening throughout this whole entire album. Now, I will say, once we get to the final 4 songs, there's not many switch ups. There's not many, all the cool elements that I'm liking. Would I like that at the end of the album? Honestly, yeah. I mean, it would be fucking cool, and make the album even more fire to listen to. But, I kind of get it. You got to have a down moment in the album. And this is the down moment. But the down moment is, honestly, I'd say the down moment is not even bad either. I've seen some like reactions, some opinions, and some people saying, okay, the final 4 tracks, that final, end run is really boring or really sleepy. And I listened to it back and I just kind of go, well, not really. I think even the down part of this album is actually really good. My second point is the features. Let's talk about the features. Now, there's not many features on here. There's literally 2 fucking features, all right? Molly Santana and Future. And, I've never really heard of Molly Santana until this Drake album. And, I would say she's pretty fucking fire. The flow, the rapping, what she did on the track is really good. But then Future, hey, say what you want. But Future is one of the best, will always be one of the best, trap rappers out there in the fucking generation and the damn world. Bro's almost 50 and still can fucking rap better than any of these goddamn rappers that I fucking hear of covering this show for going on for fucking 6 years. Future has consistently always been goddamn fire, and his verse was so fucking good. the flow switches, the way fucking Future was going on this damn beat from Ran to Atlanta, just absolutely fantastic. The features on this album were absolutely fire. My third point and my final point is that how did Drake's overall performance of this album go? And I will say, you know, a good old Drake versus Kendrick beef, to start off 2024, I feel like that's what Drake just needed. Some like friends betraying him, some bad shit to happen to him, some lies needed to be spread because I feel like when you're going through something like that, you make some of the best music you've ever made. And I think this is one of those cool ass moments where you kind of take the heat, you kind of take it all, and you fucking go crazy. You make a fire ass album. That's what I love. I love it when rappers, they go through shit or they're currently going through shit and they actually use it to make really good ass art. I think the flow from Drake here, the flow switches were absolutely phenomenal. I think the vocal performance from almost every single track was just off the damn charts. The vocal switch ups too were just really fucking fire. So overall, Iceman's performance was so fucking good that I had a great time listening to this whole entire fucking album. Alright, enough wasting fucking time. Let's get into this album, Iceman. We're going to go over every single track, rated 1 out of 5. Iceman is 1 hour and 8 minutes long. This is a long-ass album, but, it doesn't even really feel like an hour because this fucking album goes by really fucking quick. So, let us start off with the intro track, Make Them Cry. I will say when I did a review of this song, I really love the beat switch in this one. The vocals, the flow, just the rapping on here is just absolutely fantastic. The kind of emotional vulnerability that you're getting from Drake here at the end of the song too is just really fucking good. This one's an easy 5 out of 5. Dust, I think Dust as the second track is really good because that beat switch is really fucking fire. That hook, the the blow off the dust off your plaques, that hook just gets easily stuck in your head. And then, the ad libs are really fucking good too. So this one's an easy 4 out of 5. Whisper My Name. Whisper My Name has a really cool hook because the hook, starts out like the basic ass Drake hook. And then he switches to this more faster flow as the hook goes on. And I think the Whisper My Name hook is really good. Also combine it with that really beautiful sample and you're having a really nice fucking time. 4 out of 5. The next track is Janice, Shut the Fuck Up. I love how, literally like at the end of the hook, you just hear Janice, Shut the Fuck Up being yelled throughout the song, which is absolutely hilarious. Sounds really good. And I think this hook is actually a really good melodic hook. I honestly didn't think I would like the hook in the beginning, but as I kept listening to it, as I got a couple of listens in the album, I've really grown fond of this hook. I think the vocals are really good off this hook, and then the rapping on here is just really fucking great. The flow switch is just absolutely phenomenal. I'd easily give this track a nice 5 out of 5. Ran to Atlanta, Future Molly Santana. Molly Santana did her thing on here. Her verse is really fucking good. Future did have my favorite verse, but even Drake was at the end of this song too with the beat switch, and he even sounded fucking fire on here. So this one is an easy 5 out of 5. Shebang. Shebang has a really cool fucking sample. I love the sample. It sounds really fucking good. The Shebang hook easily gets stuck in your head too. This one's kind of more, Drake kind of, toning it down a little bit. So, it's not like Drake going crazy on the rapping, but I'd say for a nice little rap song, this one's definitely fire too. 4 out of 5. Make Them Pay. Make Them Pay is a really good track because the free sample just keeps playing over and over and over again. And this song is just so fucking good to listen to. I love how it sounds. Really nice song. This song got stuck in my head for a whole last week, it felt like. So I'd easily give this one a 4 out of 5. Burning Bridges. Burning Bridges is such a fantastic fucking track. It's kind of crazy. The diss and the hook is kind of funny too. I think this track is hilarious. It's kind of braggy. It's kind of like fucking. It's kind of fucked up. It's a fucked up song, which is kind of funny to me. But I think it just makes it even more fire. This one's an easy 5 out of 5. National Treasure. I give National Treasure a 4 out of 5 because the rapping is really good. I like the beat. I think the beat sounds really good. And then, Bees on the Table. Now, this is where a track I didn't really care for. And honestly, I really still don't care for it. My final listen of this album, I tried to give Bees on a Table a chance, but again, 21 Savage adds absolutely nothing to this song. The rapping is okay from Drake. It's not the best song, but it's not the worst thing I've heard in my life, but it's definitely a down point of this album. It's probably just an easy 2 out of 5. So yeah. What am I what did I miss? Sorry, I got that wrong. What did I miss is the next track, and this track right here, when the lead single came out for this album, I really liked What Did I Miss. For some reason, people kept saying, like, this track didn't hit the same because of the beef, because of Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. And, look, I get it kind of dropped at in like 2025, so I guess it was still a little bit new. But even so, this song is fire. The beat's really good. Those fucking trumpets sound really good. The rapping's really good. The hook easily gets stuck in your head. I just think people are way too fucking biased. And when you're way too biased, sometimes your vision gets cloudy. Your ears get fucking cloudy. And, you can kind of tell when you're on Twitter, when you're on YouTube, when you're on, these other, social media sites, you can kind of tell why certain people automatically go, oh no, this shit's ass. Doesn't even give the song a chance. They just go, this shit's ass. This shit sucks. Because it's Drake. And I just can't get behind that. This song's fire. This song sounds good. This one's an easy 4 out of 5. Plot twist. Plot twist. I didn't really like the twist hook. Like, every time I listen to this fucking hook, I just get kind of confused with the whole fucking twist thing. I'm sorry. I don't really care about plot twists. The rapping's good on the verses, but that's kind of it. I'd easily just give this one, like a 3 out of 5. Too Hard for the Radio is the next track, and Too Hard for the Radio, I like the West Coast type beat production. I think, Drake sounds better on these type of beats than Kendrick Lamar. Let's just be fucking real with you. Let's just be honest, all right? I saw a clip of somebody, immediately, listening to, like, Shebang, and, like, the Shebang hook, sounds really good. The vocals, the flow's really good, and this motherfucker's just immediately like, yo, this shit's ass. This shit sucks, And then they cut to a clip of him listening to Kendrick Lamar, and the motherfucker is like jamming out to Kendrick Lamar, just saying fucking hey, hey, hey over and over and over again. This shit's kind of fucking funny to me, alright? I'm just being honest with you. But Too Hard for the Radio, I do like this song. I like the flow. I even like the hook. I didn't think I liked the hook because of the vocal style, but it gets stuck in your head. I like it. So 4 out of 5. Make Them Remember. I do like Make Them Remember because the rapping is just really elite. It's nothing crazy. There's no crazy beat switch ups, but it sounds pretty good. I'd give this one a 3 out of 5. A Little Birdie. Little Birdie, I don't really care for. I think the birdie hook thing just kind of gets a little bit old to listen to, in my opinion. And the song does go on a little bit too long. So that one is just 3 out of 5. And then a track that I definitely do like, which is Don't Worry. This is the last 3 tracks off the album. I do like Don't Worry. It's more of a melodic kind of R&B type song. I like the production. I like the melodic vocals. I like the singing on here. I like the switch ups from Don't Worry. This track's really good too. 4 out of 5. Firm Friends. Firm Friends, I'd say, is pretty good. The rapping is nice. And nothing crazy. No beat switch ups. But I do like, the conductor production on here. Sounds really nice. 3 out of 5. And then the final track is Make Them Know. Make Them Know, I'd say, is okay. The music video is good. The music video makes the song sound better. But the song itself is kind of a little bit boring. But I do like the fact that the Iceman Baby at the end, that little sample, that Iceman sample, comes in and closes out the fucking album. That shit's fucking good. That's legendary. That's phenomenal. The ending off this song is absolutely fantastic. So, overall, when we talk about Drake's new album, Iceman, this album was a really good experience listening to. Probably the best that I've heard from Drake in quite a fucking while. The rapping, the flows, the beat switches, everything about this album was a great fucking listening experience. And overall, I will easily give this album a nice, solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And yeah, I really enjoyed listening to Iceman. Fuck what anybody else has to say. This shit was fire. I liked it. And I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.